Hey guys, Adam Southend Dog Training. Today, just on the way home now, got a nice easy day. I'll go and kick the kids from school because wife's at uni. Today I just want to talk about the walk, guys, because obviously driving around in the car, you see a lot of dog walkers, a lot of dog owners, whatever, walking their dogs, and many of them, they're a mess, whether or not the owners are aware or unaware. The dogs are very much a mess. So the walk is one of the most underthought about, most important activities you can actually do with your dog. Okay, if you've got a friendly dog, if you happen to be able to let your dog off the lead, many times what happens is we neglect the walk. We'll put the dogs in the car, we'll drive them somewhere, let them run around, let them have fun. Okay, this is obviously great fun for a dog, don't get me wrong, but in reality, if you actually stop and think about it, what role do you actually play in that? I mean, dogs running around with other dogs running around sniffing, you don't really play much of a role in that, other than from time to time you pull your dog or you pop the dog back on the lead, and the main role you play in it is shit picker. You pick the shit up after the dog. Yeah, it's not really a bonding exercise. Yes, it's fun for dogs, and this video isn't about not taking your dogs out to do things like that, because that's part of confidence building, it's part of socialising, and it's part of having fun for a dog, being able to go and explore. But we need to walk our dogs, yeah, 3-4 times a week, walk your dog, yeah, and then the rest of the week let the dog have a little bit of fun. If you've got a nervous dog, an overly excitable dog, an anxious dog, something like that, the walk is so beneficial to help. It's a bonding thing. It's you and your dog, okay, together. It's basically like you and your missus going down the street holding hands, or you and your kid going down the street holding hands. You're together, right? And a proper walk, the dog should be walking to heel. It should be by your side. If you slow down, the dog slows down. You speed up, the dog speeds up, yeah? But I see some people practice this, okay? But the mistake they make when they practice it, come on, I wouldn't have stopped when you was going to be that long. The mistake they make when they practice this is that's the entire walk. So when they're walking their dog, the dog must walk to heel. If they stop, if they stop, the dog has to stop. The dog's not allowed to do anything. Okay, so they take what's important on the walk, but they take it to the extreme. So it's very important you teach your dog to walk to heel, yeah, because it gives a little bit of structure. It's you and your dog together. So when you slow down, the dog slows down. You speed up, the dog speeds up. You stop, the dog goes into a sit. All these things is that you and the dog in unison with each other. But it's also extremely important that you allow your dog to be a dog. So after they've walked nicely, 5-10 minutes, whack your dog in a sit, wait for them to pay attention to you, and then as a reward, you release them to go and have a sniff. Yeah, at this point they can be in front of you. If they stop, you stop with them. So it's sort of role reversal now. Yeah, but this is the reward. Dogs need, when they're outside, they need to have a sniff. They need to be able to explore the world properly. Yeah, so it's extreme speed bumps. So it's extremely important that you allow this to happen. Then once your dog's been doing that for another 5-10 minutes, call your dog back to you, ask them to heel, then do a bit more heel work, and so forth. So go back and forth between structure, freedom, structure, freedom. It's also a great way of controlling your dog's energy level, so they go from excitement to calm, excitement to calm, excuse me, excitement to calm, yeah? So the other thing that's important about the walk is it's a great confidence building tool, particularly if the dog sees you as the authority figure when outside. So if you've got a nervous dog, okay, many times if you're letting it walk in front of you, letting it explore the world, it can actually go against you, because what actually happens is the dog realises from the second you left the house, it's pulling on the lead, it's making the decision to stop here, stop there, sniff where he wants, do whatever he wants, be out in front of you, zigzag all over the place. This dog is very much aware that you have played no role in this walk whatsoever, other than just lead holder, yeah? Which means if your dog's afraid of something or is likely to react to something, the chances of you actually being able to stop it are very slim. because the dog knows that during this whole walk you've displayed no authority whatsoever, and you're basically playing second fiddle to the dog. Okay. And also on the flip side, if with these dogs, because I've worked with dogs in the past that have had trainers that have made the dog walk by them side and everything to try and build the dog's confidence, but again, that was icy. But again, I've drifted around today, guys. This ice is great fun. Yeah. So so they keep the dog walking by them side. So if you've got a nervous dog and you're just making it walk to heel, trying to display nothing but authority over the dog, that can also make the dog worse, because again, it's never getting a chance to explore the walk. Like if it looks at something, attempts to sniff something, and then you correct the dog for doing that, then the dog will remain insecure, just can't do anything. Jesus, I'm going to say right down here because I've got a German Shepherd puppy on a flexi lead bouncing all over the place again. And it's a big pup, and what's going to happen is in about a month or two time, that dog's going to be far too powerful for that owner to walk, and then someone like myself or other trainers are going to have to clean up the mess, because puppies don't grow out of behaviours. If it's allowed to pause a puppy and act like a clown on the lead, that's what it's going to do, and it's an adult dog. And let me tell you, German Shepherds, they are very strong, yeah, and they can use that strength. But yeah, going back to what I said, so a nervous dog, if it's nervous and it's never allowed to actually explore the world, then obviously that can make the dog more afraid. So with a nervous dog, what we discussed at the beginning of this video, making it walk by your side from the second you leave the house, this lets the dog know that there is somebody in control of the exercise. Don't pull out. There we go. Good boy. Just a good voice for a Mercedes driver, like it was a dog. Anybody else have this problem where you just start talking to random people like they're dogs? Yeah. So from the second you leave the house, you make your dog sit, wait for the dog to pay attention to you, which allows it to calm down. Then you go for a walk, you're adding that structure in. Making the dog walk by your side, you're adding that structure in. It's displaying that authority, which can help a nervous dog relax. Then, so the dog can build confidence by doing things that dogs do best, like sniffing, like cocking their leg, then you give the dog some freedom when you say so. What this does is not only does it teach the dog that there's someone in control, but you're understanding the dog needs to explore the world, and it starts to build their confidence. And then if you see a trigger, something that's going to make your dog uneasy, i.e. another dog, a person, a car, whatever it might be, then you simply call your dog back to heel when you have it by its side. Because again, another thing with dogs which is quite important is position. I recently worked with a Great Dane Mastiff mix from Spain, and when I went in the house, it was very reactive to people, so I asked the owners to whack it on a slip lead so they could control the dog and help it calm down, and it worked tremendously. But when we went into the kitchen, the owners made the dog sit, but the dog was sitting in front of the owners, so it was very tense, and every time I moved it reacted. Yeah, so I told the owners the reason your dog's reacting is because of the position you put it in. Yeah, because position is actually very important to a dog. Not position as i.e. your pet leader, your second in command, all that nonsense, but where your dog is when it's uncomfortable by something. So I told the owners to pop the dog in a sit by their side and then take one step forward, keeping that dog in a sit. Instantly, the dog started offering calming signals, and then I got the owner to start rewarding it. And the reason it started doing that, because by the owner putting themselves in front of the dog, but facing what makes the dog afraid, not looking at the dog trying to block the dog, but standing in front of the dog and telling the dog what to do, it helped the dog instantly start to relax. And this is the same on the walk. So if you've got a dog that's all over the place and it's reactive, and then all of a sudden you see something that's uncomfortable, and if you've not put any structure in or any authority during that walk, it's going to have a real hard time when it comes across something that is uncomfortable. But if you put all that structure in, if you're giving your dog that freedom to then go and relax, and then you see a trigger, call your dog back to you, ask it to heel, right? But with it being by your side, and with you taking that sort of leadership position, if you will, what happens is the dog instantly starts to relax. Okay, and sometimes the dog can still react, don't get me wrong, I mean, it is what it is. But you're going to help your dog more by saying, look, you don't have to worry about this thing, I'm here. But the reality is, if you just let your dog do whatever the fuck it likes on a walk this way, that way, make all of the decisions on the walk. When your dog gets uncomfortable, you have absolutely zero chance of getting it to stop. But if you allow your dog to have that sort of fun on the walk, but on your terms, when you say so, and then you add in a bit of structure, you're making all of the decisions, and by you making all of the decisions, it really, really can help your dog relax. And of course, if you've got an overexcitable dog, just one that likes to bounce everywhere, try and pull over to every dog he sees, again, this principle can help you with that, because again, it's teaching your dog to go from calm to excitement, calm to excitement. Yeah, the walks aren't a free-for-all, guys. So if you've got a dog, interact with it while you're on the walk. Don't just let it make all the decisions. Yeah, and don't say, oh, he's walked nicely, and then all of a sudden you're now letting him sniff. Make sure your dog understands that that comes from you. Yeah, and the way you do that is you first of all make your dog sit and wait for it to pay attention to you, and then you release it to then have that freedom. That bit is so important, because if you just try and get your dog to walk to heel, and then in the next breath all of a sudden you just loosen the lead so it can start sniffing around, in the dog's mind all it did was pull, and from time to time it got freedom. Yeah, and in the dog's mind, the dog was the one that created that. So the walk is extremely important, guys, very, very important, and a lot of behavioural problems can be solved by doing it right. Yeah, so hopefully that'll help you. The walk isn't a free-for-all, but the dog does need to explore during the walk. It does need to be able to use its nose properly. It shouldn't have to stay by your side the entirety of the walk. Okay, dogs need to explore, but they also need to know that there is a human that's in control when they're outside, because this builds confidence in the dog and helps them relax, particularly when you've got a nervous dog, guys. Okay, so what the fuck are you doing, mate? Just stopping in the middle of the road? Cunt. Excuse my language. But yeah, so have fun, guys, and I'll talk to you soon.